Have you ever felt let down when a relationship doesn't live up to your hopes?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it doesn't matter if it's romantic or friendship or even family.
Right.
There's always some expectation that doesn't quite get met.
Oh, absolutely.
And it kind of leaves you with this, like, empty feeling.
Totally.
Well, today we're going to be doing a deep dive on expectations and how to manage them so you don't end up disappointed.
Ooh, good topic.
I think this is something that everyone deals with at some point.
For sure, at some point in their lives.
And we're going to be looking at this really interesting excerpt called Managing Expectations: How to Avoid Disappointment in Relationships.
Okay, cool. I like that.
So it gets right to the point.
Yeah,
Because I think everyone kind of has like an idea in their head
right.
of like how their relationship should be.
Yeah.
And when reality doesn't match up with that, it causes problems.
Oh, yeah. Definitely leads to conflict.
And in the excerpt, they talk a lot about keeping your expectations realistic. Can you talk a little bit more about what that actually looks like?
Yeah. So, I mean, like, realistic expectations are kind of about acknowledging that your partner or friend or whoever it is,
Right.
they're not going to be perfect.
Right.
You know, they're human and they're going to make mistakes.
Oh, for sure.
And they're going to have bad days and they might not always understand exactly what you need.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we kind of
They can't read your mind.
go in with this like storybook idea of how it's going to be,
Uh-huh.
but relationships are messy.
Right. They're not.
It's not a fairy tale.
Yes, it's a journey. It's definitely a journey.
And so for me, I realized I was having all these like super specific expectations,
Oh, yeah.
and I was getting frustrated when they weren't met.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I expected my partner to remember our anniversary every year without any reminders,
Oh, yeah.
or to load the dishwasher exactly the way I liked it.
Yeah.
And I had to take a step back and realize,
Mm-hmm.
like, these are just my personal preferences. They're
Yeah.
not like relationship rules,
Yeah,
you know?
right,
Right.
exactly. And
Yeah.
sometimes,
Everyone's different.
yeah, and like sometimes those expectations are coming from places that we don't even realize.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Like, for example, attachment style, you know?
Yeah,
Like how we learn to relate to other people.
right.
So, like, if you're someone who tends to be anxious in relationships,
Oh, okay.
you might have higher expectations for reassurance or constant contact.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we all have all this baggage
Yeah, we come with baggage.
coming from all these different places, like movies or past relationships,
Mhm.
or even just like our own quirks.
Uh-huh.
So how do we even begin to line up our expectations with someone else?
That's where communication comes in.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of times we just hope they'll figure it out.
Right. Or like they should just know.
Yeah.
But actually talking about it is so important.
So like having those open and honest conversations.
Uh-huh. It's like you're building a bridge.
Okay, I like that.
You have to know what's on each side to connect them.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
But I think it can feel kind of scary
Oh, yeah, it can be intimidating.
to like just blurt out all your expectations.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, here are all my relationship demands.
Right. No one wants to do that.
So how do you even get that conversation started?
Well, you can start by asking your partner or friend about their needs and expectations.
Okay.
Like, for example, you could ask, what makes you feel most loved and appreciated?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. And then you can share yours too.
Right.
You can say things like, I really value quality time together, and it would mean a lot to me if we could have a date night every week.
That's a good example.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like learning each other's love languages, right?
Exactly.
Like figuring out if they feel most appreciated through gifts or acts of service.
Or words of affirmation or physical touch.
Right. There's so many.
Yeah. There are a lot of different ways.
So what happens if you have those conversations
Right.
and you realize that your expectations are totally different?
Yeah.
Like one person wants to travel the world and the other wants to settle down and have kids.
That's where compromise comes in.
Okay.
So it's about finding some kind of middle ground
Right.
that works for both of you.
Right. Like maybe you compromise on the timing,
Mm-hmm.
or you find creative ways to do both.
Yeah, like maybe you travel with your kids.
Right.
Or, you know, find a way to make it work.
Yeah. And it's not about one person winning.
Right.
It's about finding something that you're both happy with.
Exactly. It's about creating a shared vision
Right.
for your relationship.
And this is applying to all kinds of relationships.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like with friends and family and coworkers.
Absolutely.
It's not just romantic relationships.
Mhm.
Like if your friend always cancels plans last minute,
Right.
instead of just getting frustrated, you could say, hey, I miss spending time with you. How can we make this work?
Right. Like how can we make sure we stay connected?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to sum it up, Realistic expectations are really important.
Yeah.
And we figure those out by talking to each other and listening to each other.
Right, and being open about your needs.
Right.
And then you can start to make those compromises.
This has been super helpful. I feel like I've learned a lot.
Me too.
Do you have any, final thoughts about expectations?
Well, I think it can be really helpful to look at your own expectations
Oh, okay.
and where they're coming from.
Interesting.
Like, are they actually serving you or are they holding you back?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I think that can be really valuable.
I like that it's like figuring out your own blueprint before you try to build that bridge.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this has been a great deep dive.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I think we covered a lot, and it's given me a lot to think about.
Me too.
Thanks for joining me,
Yeah, thanks for having me.
and thanks everyone for listening.
Yeah. See you next time.